wellness has become a priority for my clients in a way that I haven't seen before. I've seen more of my clients become more engaged with the importance of their overall wellness in ways that I couldn't have asked them to show up to our sessions. So they've been more creative, they've been more inquisitive, they've been more engaged in really finding ways to feel like their best selves amidst what's going on in the world. So it's been very exciting for me to be able to help people reach new levels of wellness given what's going on in the world and help people feel their very best, even amidst the stress and the extra, stuff we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis.
In my work in the media, it's actually great because we've seen a shift from talking about weight as what people are trying to attain to health, and thinking about how do we put out messages to the general public that allows them to think about their individual health. We're also seeing a lot of discussion around giving yourself grace, right? We're asking people, what are the activities that you can engage in on a daily basis, the small step activities, right? And for some people, it'll be as simple as a stretch. For some people, it'll be going for a walk. For some people, it's adding in one fruit or one vegetable. For someone, it might be taking a multivitamin supplement to help bridge the gap for what's missing in their day-to-day nutrition. It's what can you do that works for you, the individual.
I think wellness and figuring out what's right for your body can be really stressful. And so I think our job as professionals who help people on an everyday basis is to make it easier.
I completely agree with you. Like, one of the things that I think is so important when we're working in wellness is to make the person feel like they're being called in rather than excluded.
We really look at the people that we work with in an inclusive manner, and that it doesn't need to be sexy, and it doesn't need to be, anything fancy. It's basic. It's self-care. It's love for yourself. It's love for your family. It's love for your neighbor.
Yeah.
And in a way that feels good for you. And I think that should be the basis of everything, but most importantly, wellness.
Yeah. One of the things that I've really been thinking about lately, like more so probably now than ever, is this idea of like metabolic health and individual health, right? So rather than saying, oh, I'm engaging in this way of eating or moving my body so that I can, look thin or get to some specific ideal, it's like, how do I really make sure that my body is well and healthy?
Right. And in the way that works for my body, not my body and yours, but mine, because my body's different than yours.
So I've been thinking about wellness in light of the racial awakening that's happened in the US, right? I think that a lot of people in the field of wellness are saying, you know what, we recognize that a change needs to happen, right? And not only does a change need to happen now, but we're committed to making these changes for the future, right? And supporting communities that have been marginalized and really calling for systemic change. So from my perspective, especially as a Black dietitian and a mom of multicultural children, I'm hopeful for the future. And I feel like, we're headed in the right direction.
And I completely agree with you, Maya. I think this last number of months has changed our perspective in a number of ways. And I think, finding new ways for everybody to be able to access wellness in a way that it works in communities that have been forgotten is super important. So as we start to maybe inch forward towards a little bit more of our old normalcy in various different ways, I'm working really hard to keep my clients present with the routines and new habits that they have created during this more conscious time. It may not look exactly like it did during quarantine, but I am working really hard to keep them mindful and have them do mindfulness practices that include a lot of the things that I've had them do over the last number of months, like movement, like meditation, like gratitude journaling, like including, their vitamins and their supplements, but in a way that they can sustain moving forward.
Are these changes truly sustainable? Will they last? Is this cosmic shift more on the permanent side? I think for some people, yes. And I think for some people, not.
Yeah. So no, I'm hopeful that the amount of time that people have had to become creative has allowed for sustained long-term changes. But you and I are going to work really hard in a number of different ways to help people stay engaged and still be creative no matter where the future takes us.
I agree.